Welcome to Spectrum News at 10. I am Image Jane, coming to you live from Uyo. Let's take a look at today's major stories. President Tinubu vows safe return of adopted Uyo teachers and pupils. Federal government signs off Enugu Airport for concession. Plus, death toll in Venezuela's earthquake rises to 235 persons. We'll bring you details of these stories and more in just a moment. Please stay tuned. Many thanks for staying tuned. First in the news this morning is that as assured residents of Oyo that the school children and teachers adopted during coordinated attacks on 3 primary schools in Orire local government area could be rescued unharmed. The president, who also urged Southwest governors to preserve the developmental legacy of their founding fathers, said the federal government was deploying all available measures, including international collaboration, to secure the release of the victims and tackle rising insecurity across the country. Speaking during the inauguration of the newly remodeled and redeveloped Premier Hotel in Ibadan, Oyo State, Tinubu said the federal government was deploying all measures to secure their release. He therefore called on Nigerians to remain vigilant and support agencies through intelligence sharing and community collaboration. Still in Oyo State, Governor Seyi Makinde has approved a 24-hour extension of the curfew imposed on 10 local government areas bordering the old Oyo National Park. The extension was announced by the Secretary to the Government, Professor Misabu Babatunde, in a memo circulated to relevant government agencies and the public. Recall that the state's government had on June 23, 2026, imposed a curfew from 4 p.m. to 8 a.m. in the affected local government areas. With the extension, the curfew, which was initially scheduled to last 48 hours, will now remain in force until Saturday, June 27, 2026. Away from that, the federal government has officially signed off the Akanu-Ibam International Airport, Enugu, for concession under a public-private partnership (PPP) arrangement to Aero Alliance Limited. The landmark ceremony was held at the airport's new terminal. A statement by the ministry says the event marked another significant milestone in the federal government's commitment to modernizing airport infrastructure, enhancing operational efficiency, and attracting private sector investment into Nigeria's aviation sector under the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu. In his keynote address, the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, described the concession as a historic breakthrough, revealing that plans to concession the airport had lingered for over 2 decades without success. He disclosed that the success recorded with Enugu concession has sparked renewed investor confidence, with bids already being prepared for 3 additional airports across the country. The minister commended Governor Peter Mbah for his visionary leadership and strategic role in attracting investors to the project. Meanwhile, the federal government has unveiled the Integrated Personnel and Payroll Information System Human Resources Employee Self-Service Application. It also commenced sensitization on the newly approved Public Service Mentoring Program in a move aimed at accelerating digital transformation and strengthening leadership succession within the federal civil service. The 2 initiatives were presented during a stakeholders event held at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Abuja as part of activities marking the 2026 Civil Service Week. Speaking at the event, the Permanent Secretary, Career Management Office, Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Nkiruka Jones Nebo, described the launch of the digital HR platform and mentoring program as two strategic reforms designed to modernize public service operations and prepare a new generation of leaders. In a separate development, the First Lady, Senator Tinubu, has been decorated as the Grand Matron of the Nigerian Red Cross Society. At the ceremony, which took place at the State House, Abuja, the First Lady stated that voluntary organizations should be used to change the mindset of youth through getting them to actively participate. The First Lady, who acknowledged the enormous role being played by the Red Cross in humanitarian efforts in the country, expressed optimism that various challenges confronting the nation would be surmounted. Let's move now to another development where the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has directed banks and all financial institutions to freeze transactions, accounts, and assets linked to 6 individuals and 4 bureau de change operators designated for terrorism financing. The directive was contained in a circular dated June 24, 2026. According to the Apex Bank, the latest update to the Nigerian sanction list, effective June 18, 2026, is binding on all regulated institutions and requires immediate implementation. The 6 individuals added to the specifically designated national and blocked persons list are Mokhtar Adamu, Babangida Hamajam, Abdullahi Usman, Ibrahim Abubakar, Adamu Chiroma, and Yakubu Ibrahim. And we move now to Africa, where South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has vowed to crush any attempt to destabilize the nation during planned anti-immigrant marches next week. Now, this is amid a wave of xenophobia. Reports say citizen-led groups have set Tuesday 30 as a deadline for undocumented foreigners to leave and call for nationwide marches against illegal immigration, marking a crescendo in months of protests that have at times turned violent. Ramaphosa told the upper house of parliament that security forces are ready and those who transgress the measures put in place will meet the might of the law. According to the report, the police have announced tightened security across the nation for June 30, while government officials have stepped up efforts to ensure calm, including meeting Zulu royal vows. On a foreign scene, rescuers are searching through rubble in a rush to save lives after 2 powerful earthquakes struck Venezuela near the capital, killing at least 235 people and injuring at least 4,300. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, the first 7.2 magnitude earthquake was followed seconds later by an even stronger 7.5 magnitude one, with both occurring close to the surface, making destructions more severe. The president of Venezuela's National Assembly, Jorge Rodriguez, reported that the death toll had risen. Now, this is after the country's interim president, Delcy Rodriguez, declared a state of emergency. Reports say several countries have pledged to help the rescue effort, with the U.S. promising $150 million in aid. Still the foreign scene. The Supreme Court has ruled that the Trump administration can strip protected status from hundreds of thousands of Haitians and Syrian migrants, which has allowed them to stay in the U.S. for years. The 6-3 ruling overturned decisions by federal judges that had blocked the administration from terminating temporary protected status for 350,000 people from Haiti and 6,100 from Syria. In a separate ruling, the court has said that migrants arriving at the border are not entitled to apply for asylum until they set foot on U.S. soil, giving another win to the Trump administration. Still to come in the news, Ecuador beat Germany 2-1 to reach World Cup last 32. Searching for details of this in just a moment. Many thanks for staying tuned. Now let's go over to the concluding part of today's stories. On our business news, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Tayo Oyedale, has said that Nigeria's revenue challenge lies in expanding the tax net rather than increasing tax rate, stressing that the country needs more taxpayers, not higher taxes. Oyedele spoke in Abuja while receiving the leadership of the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria during a courtesy visit to the Federal Ministry of Finance. Commending the Institute for supporting the federal government tax reform agenda, Oyedele said a public misunderstanding of taxation remained one of the biggest obstacles to improving compliance. The minister added that getting Nigeria's tax system right would have a transformative impact on national development. Still in business, Dangote Petroleum Refinery has reduced its petrol gantry price by 50 naira per litre, lowering it from 1,175 naira to 1,125 naira per litre, following the further decline in global crude oil prices amid easing tensions in the Middle East. A notice sent to customers by the refinery's group's commercial operations showed that the new pricing regime takes effect from yesterday. Under the revised pricing structure, the coastal price was reduced from 1.49 million naira per metric ton to 1.42 million naira per metric ton, while the gantry price was cut from 1,175 naira per litre to 1,125 naira per litre. And we move now to health, where the Association of Resident Doctors at the Olabisi Onabanjo University Teaching Hospital, Sagamo, Ogun State, has suspended its ongoing 10-day warning strike, following assurances from the state government that its members' professional allowances will be paid on or before July 31st, 2026. The association said the commitment was made during a meeting with the Secretary to the Government, Tokumbo Talibi, and the Head of Service, Olarande Waju Saka, which was attended by the leadership of the Nigerian Medical Association in Ogun State. The president of the association, Dr. John Omotosho, disclosed this in a statement issued at the end of an emergency meeting made available to journalists yesterday. Dr. Omotosho said the association, after reviewing development, resolved to suspend the warning strike and directed members to resume work. Let's move now to sports, where Ecuador squeezed into the last 32 of the World Cup with an upset 2-1 victory over Germany, as Ivory Coast ended Curaçao's fairy tale campaign to seal their passage to the knockout rounds. The Group E game between Ecuador and group winners Germany at the MetLife Stadium was settled 13 minutes from time, when Gonzalo Plata jabbed home the winning goal from close range for the South Americans. The result means Ecuador finished Group E with 4 points, guaranteeing them a place in the last 32 as one of the 8 best third-place teams. Meanwhile, Ivory Coast sealed their runner-up spot in Group E after eliminating Curaçao in Philadelphia, Nicolas Pepe scoring twice in a 2-0 victory. It is the first time the West African nation have reached the knockout stage. Still in sport, at least 19 teams have confirmed their places in the round of 32 at the World Cup. The latest countries to book their spots include Australia, Ivory Coast, Ecuador, Japan, the Netherlands, Sweden, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and Colombia. They will all join the likes of Mexico, South Africa, Canada, Switzerland, USA, Brazil, Morocco, Germany, France, Norway, and Argentina in the next round. On entertainment news, celebrity chef Hilda Basi has spoken out against online bullying directed at her 15-year-old brother after a video of them was reposted across platforms and used to mock him. In a statement on X, Basi said she never expected a light-hearted clip with her brother to be taken and circulated widely, leading to cruel comments and edited photos aimed at making him look bigger for laugh. She criticized adults who altered images of a minor and publicly riddled him, stressing that her brother did nothing except appear in a funny video with her. And that's all we have for you at this hour. Do ensure to follow us on social media, subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website at spectrumtvlive.ng. You have been watching Spectrum News at 10. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.